Welcome back to Cigar Time, your very, very friendly show all about premium cigars.
That is true. Thanks.
It's good to be
At
here.
least we tried to.
From your extended cruise of the continent, welcome back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Did you
Good
have
to be back.
Did you have a good trip?
It was awesome. Yeah.
I mean,
Went to like. It might as well. It was fun, but it might as well have been work. All I did was go to cigar shops.
why in the hell would you do that?
How does that work?
Yeah.
Going to cigar shops.
Like I said, it was fun. Well, I try to find new stuff. I try and see what other people do. I mean, I get ideas and stuff of
You get
new
inspired.
stuff. Well, yeah, it gets
It
you.
does.
Honestly, you see something, it's like a, you know how a brainstorming session works, where there's
Yes.
no bad idea. I see something and I'm like, hey, you know what? If we did, so
I didn't know they had shops in New Caledonia.
Yeah, where were you again?
Florida, you
Oh,
know,
Florida.
East Coast.
Sure, it's cold outside, so you hop, skips, and jumps to Florida.
You should try it.
What part of Florida were you in?
He's leaving next week.
I know.
Next week.
Hollywood,
Oh,
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, so you're on the East Coast.
I went to
Today's
the.
the
There's a.
17th. So, yeah.
What's the 17th? That's true. No, I'm not leaving. I probably won't leave now till the first week in December. Technical things.
Okay.
I went to that. There was a cigar and whiskey fest. It's like a part of the Big Smoke. So I was like,
Oh,
you know
okay.
what? Yeah, I
at the
saw-
casino, the Hollywood?
Yeah,
casino?
at the Hard Rock. Yeah. I saw Bradley down there. Andy,
Okay.
saw Andy
Did
Green.
you see Bradley?
Yes, I did. I talked to him for a little
Did they
bit.
give you a cigar? Yeah. Oh, that's
Andy
nice.
Green gave you a cigar?
Yeah, actually gave me the new La Roma de Cuba.
So that's the bill we got.
The what's it called? The
Passion or something?
Passion, yeah.
Yeah.
How come we don't have that cigar? How come we don't have that cigar?
I don't know.
order
Why
it?
don't we have it? You order. I'm not going to sit here and take it all the
We
abuse
can't fit it.
myself.
That's the problem. We can't
Yes,
fit it in
we
the humidors.
Yes, we can.
Well, it's a thin. It's not too fat. We could probably jam it in sideways.
Right.
Was it any good?
Yeah, it's very good actually. I saw Jack Tarano, a bunch of whiskey people. It was cool.
So you were drinking and smoking.
That was the intent, but I smoked. It actually had a really great conversation with a bunch of people from Seattle and another guy trying to start his own cigar shop. But
Nice.
and it turns out these people from Seattle, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Nope, they're on the good side.
Yeah. It's always nice to be on the
were
right
you
side.
with?
Me, just,
You just went down by yourself?
yeah, Sandy. She's like, I don't know, cigars.
She didn't
had
go?
work. No, she's like, I'm not.
Wow.
Okay.
Sounds like a good week.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I just spent the week driving to different cigar shops. Man, they got some
Where'd you stay? What town?
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood?
Hollywood's nice.
Yeah.
Actually, Nick's got a house. He bought a house in
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
and I was like a mile from his house.
Did he
Should've
invite you
stayed.
over?
He wasn't down there. He was up here. He's leaving next week, I think,
Oh.
to go down.
Cool.
But one of the I got to tell you, man, on at least the east coast of Florida, they got very basic selection, and it could
They
be.
have a lot of shops.
I was just
And the
going to
further
say
south
that.
you go, you know, as you head towards Miami or in and about Miami, I think the variety actually picks up.
It does because 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in Miami when I went to the Sarasota stores.
Right.
They had a decent variety down there, but it was very. I mean, it was almost less than bread and butter in all these shops, except for one. Neptune had it, and they're big.
Neptune's big.
They're
Neptune's
big.
big,
They had a very decent. And when I say selection, you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for different.
Right.
Yeah.
I asked one guy. I said, he goes, "Oh, well, what are you trying to find?" And I'm like, looking for something I can't get anywhere else." And he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, how about this My Father 5-pack?" I'm like, "Really?"
There you go.
You really? Turns out they actually had their own house cigar. I'm like, "Okay, you're not hired."
Yeah, Neptune has a big online presence.
Yes.
So they have depth.
I met the two, either the owners or the owners' wives when I went to the Dominican Republic with Davidoff.
And I think Mike and I met them when we went to the Puente Foundation and the factory in the Dominican.
Oh, yeah.
George knows them both. It's,
Okay,
it's a
yeah, they're-
I believe a husband and wife or something like that.
You know what? You're right, but the two women were sisters. That's what it was. That I met anyway. But I don't. I'm sure they weren't in the Hollywood.
And they're TAA members.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice people. I remember that.
What are we smoking anyway?
Rob, tell us.
We are smoking the brand new from Forged Cigars, the La Gloria, what's it called again? Criollo de Oro. cigar.
And I heard the name and I'm like, what the heck is the Oro? So I had one of my minions, one of my associates,
The Oro.
look up what Oro meant. So Rob, can you tell him what Oro means?
It just means coming together.
Oh,
Or combining.
Combining
I
together.
thought it was
It is
gold.
gold.
Oro is gold.
Yeah.
That's not what it says when you type in Oro
What
sure
do they know?
definition.
I'm sure there's lots of. Well,
It's
I think the
coming, it
Spanish
means
word
like
for-
coming together.
I think the Spanish word for gold
or
is oro.
combining together.
all right. Well, let's run with Rob's because it sort of ties in because the wrapper on this is actually a hybrid between Pella de Oro and Criollo. So and then it's got
That went
Honduran,
fast 5 times.
right? Then it has Honduran and Dominican fillers.
There's Brina. We just got it in
2 weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago. Yesterday, a couple weeks ago.
And it's a limited production. They said it's limited to 3,100 boxes. I don't know if that's 3,100 total or 3,100 in each size. There's only 2 sizes, which is Toro and for some unknown reason.
So the most would be
Churchill.
6,200.
I don't know, but I don't know if it's
It
3,100
may only be
total. or-
3,100.
Yeah.
Did we
We'll-
buy?
we'll-
Did we
we'll
buy
end up-
all of them?
Almost.
We'll end up selling.
Almost. But the Toro is $10.50 and the Churchill is $11.
And we're-
Slightly higher in Jersey.
One of the things I thought when I read
15% higher.
reading the description,
I'm
of
sorry,
this,
30% higher.
No, 15%. No, it's about 15% higher. The tax is 30. We split the. It's about 15%.
Okay. Good. What?
well, when I'm reading the blend, I thought was interesting is they use a broadleaf binder, which it's got. I mean,
I don't
that's
get that.
interesting.
But who's broadleaf? Is it a Connecticut broadleaf?
It says Connecticut broadleaf.
Well, here's what I don't understand. Everybody in the industry cries the blues that Connecticut broadleaf is so expensive and so hard to get because there's less and less acreage being planted with broadleaf tobacco.
Yeah, but they just went to the binder fields.
There's no such thing as binder fields, just to let you know.
Pay no attention to the end of the table. So if broadleaf is such in demand and so costly, why in the wide world of sports would they use it?
I wonder if they use lower priming
Yeah,
it
because
could
it's
be.
not
Could be.
yeah, something's
wrapper-worthy.
wrong with it, or it's not thick enough. It's got
Yeah.
holes in it. It's got this.
But
It's
what
got that.
I don't understand,
blemishes.
again, if it's so scarce and so expensive, why not take a couple smaller pieces and just glue them together?
Or just put it in a big slurry and dry it out. Then
Dry
you've got to.
Stitch them together.
Moose, just want to make, are you still awake with us, right?
Yes,
You're
I
still
am.
fi-
I'm sitting here enjoying the
Oh,
repertoire of my
okay,
cigar.
okay.
you know?
I didn't want you to feel left
Oh
out.
no!
I mean, it's hard to leave out a moose. I mean,
Yeah, I'm the moose in the corner instead of the gorilla.
oh,
Have you guys had this yet?
No, we have not had this. They didn't have samples of it.
Yeah.
We bought this sight unseen.
Yeah, we
something
did.
which we never do.
Unless.
You remember our motto: we smoke them so you don't have to,
Yeah.
or we smoke them so you should have
I
to.
may need to smoke at least 2 more of these. To
Oh, I
get a
figured,
good
yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
I kind of knew there'd be some reason.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you
far-
had to sacrifice. Take
Yes,
one for the
I'm
team.
taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, I know I'm only 50 cents in.
That's
or,
my line.
Or a quarter of it. Yeah, so I'm changing it to a quarter of an inch in. It's got a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
it's
does.
the first puff has actually changed. I mean, look, that's how much I've done. It's
Honestly,
already changed.
That's why I was being so quiet. I'm finding that with each inhale, I'm getting something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost
It's complex.
every one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very complex.
It's a very complex flavor. I'm getting a little white pepper, just a little bit,
Yeah,
and
not
in the
black
next hail,
pepper.
I'm just like a little sweetness,
Yeah.
almost like chocolate.
I got sweetness, and then it went to right now. It's like very vegetal, and it started off with the white pepper.
Yeah,
This is going to be fun.
My
and,
first.
and I'm enjoying it. I mean, because of the complexity of the flavors and everything like that. It's not a real strong smoke.
No.
Like I'd say, it's a solid medium-bodied smoke.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not.
I'm
mild.
feeling it. I'm feeling whatever Lajero they put in. I'm feeling
yeah?
it right now in the back of my throat.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I'm
that
not
may
getting
smooth
that
out. Well, you're not as far along as I am.
Further along. My first draw through this, it reminded me of like drawn butter. It was like
Really?
yeah, And I immediately thought of lobster. Because why else would you have John butter?
How'd you find the retrohale?
I have not retrohaled
I have,
yet.
and it's very pleasant.
Is it?
Very
I have not
pleasant.
retrohaled
Very
yet.
pleasant.
How about you, Moose? Have you retrohaled yet?
No.
Are you continuing to retrohale or no? Since you learned.
I am trying to not look like a moron when I'm doing it, so I'm working on it.
Why should you be different?
Yeah, why should we be the only ones?
Because you said, okay, dub. I'm trying not to look too stupid when I do it.
Okay.
The retrohale is almost creamy and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like actually almost like a sweet butter.
Yeah, it is creamy. Very creamy. You don't get that burn or anything that something that has a lot of hair usually has.
Right. And I'm getting it across the front of my tongue, and I'm assuming that's white pepper.
Wow.
No, actually, that might be more cayenne.
Cayenne pepper?
It might be.
I use that all the time. I put cayenne pepper on almost everything except Rice Krispies. I'm thinking of trying that. Doesn't go well with bananas or blueberries. So.
This now I'm starting to get this little bit more strength out of it.
Yeah, like this is gonna
Especially
be
the
interesting.
retro.
Like I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You said these are 10.50 for this
10.50,
one, 11 for the
11
Churchill.
for the Churchill, yes.
This one's so complex that I wouldn't drink anything with this.
Really?
Why ruin a great cigar?
Well,
You know,
That's true.
for you, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you all know my reputation as being a big Jack Daniels drinker. I wouldn't drink a Jack with this. I would rather just smoke the cigar.
When you say big Jack Daniel's smoker,
Oh yeah, I don't.
are you referring to the quantity of Jack Daniel,
Of
or are
course,
you
yeah.
referring to yourself as being a big Jack Daniel smoker?
Both actually. Both.
Drinker.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, both. Yeah.
Well,
I would do
here's
that.
it has.
I mean-
it really has to be the quantity because before you were a big one. Now you're like now you're
Yeah,
pint size.
Yes, I
compared-
am a smaller version of myself. Yeah,
Pint
than I
size.
used to be.
Pint size.
Pint size, yeah.
Well,
But,
quart size.
It might be a quart, but
Yeah,
close.
usually, half gallon of Jack is usually what I purchase.
Okay.
I wonder where. Well, Ford owns a lot of. Well, of course, it's the old General. They own a lot of fields in a lot of places. So you got to wonder. Speaking of fields,
This is I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, what you mentioned, I meant to say this is grown in Tao, in the Dominican Republic. Which no, I'm not Tao, Mao, which
Mal.
I assume that's what it's MOA. You know they had the Monte Cristo.
MOA.
Not Monte Cristo.
MOA, MOA.
Is it MOA?
That's also a province in Cuba where they.
Okay.
It's on the northeastern coast, and they do a lot of aluminum smelting there. A lot of ore comes out
Wasn't
of there.
there a Macanudo Mao?
Yeah,
Or
M.
whatever.
M.
MOA.
No. That's a
I don't think
flavor.
so.
I've heard of chairman, but none of the other
Chairman
places.
Mal, yeah.
No, there was a
It's the M from Macanudo was
no.
coffee-flavored
There was
cigar.
a super premium Macanudo. I thought that was the
You
M.
may be right. You may be right.
I don't remember.
I'm
that.
almost positive. Here, let me look it up. But anyway, this is where it's. I've never heard of that area of in the Dominican Republic, but that's where it's sort of tied in with
Nor
you.
have I. The only mall I know is in Cuba. Very
Or
unusual.
Three Stooges.
Just while he's looking that up, I'm also finding that, as most of you know, I'm a pretty big power hitter. I take big puffs and I go through a cigar fast. This one's got a smooth, easy draw, but it's not a power hitter.
It's a well-made cigar.
It's a well-made cigar. I mean, I would usually be down to the band almost by now, but I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
Good.
Pardon my French.
Good.
You were saying something about fields?
Yeah, I just out of curiosity, I know all of us have been to cigar plants and stuff like that, but have any of you ever gone on a how to describe it? Not where you're in with a group that are going from place to place, it's like the European tours, follow me with the little sign. Have you ever really been like left to yourself or just have maybe a principal going around showing you things? Have you ever visited the fields, the factories, the fermentation areas, the hanging, the curing, the barns,
By
just
ourselves?
more or less on your own?
No. I wouldn't want to in Honduras.
Actually,
Well, no, you'd be
It
armed.
doesn't mean.
I didn't.
That's true.
This means there's more. If I was armed, that would be fine.
I
but
didn't,
this
I
means
didn't
there's
even
more
leave the
targets.
state to do that. I stopped at a Amish farm at Lancaster,
Right.
and I started talking tobacco with a guy.
Yeah.
And this farmer just started showing me everything. Took me to the sheds, showed me the process that they do, and
But the process they do
Is
in like
different.
Lancaster County is a lot different than they do in Central America.
oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I've been down there for the this is Tuesday, must
Yeah,
be Belgium
yeah,
tour
yeah.
with General.
Right.
So, and I learned both things. But as you said, this was just the owner of the
Right.
farm, proud of what he does, and he saw I was a tobacco guy.
There's
had
a lot
cigar.
more Pennsylvania tobacco being used today than there was
Was
20
it?
years
Yeah,
ago.
absolutely.
For cigars.
Yeah.
What was different? I'm guessing what's different is they probably just dry it, like they get it to the bales and then
Yeah.
they send it and they let the factories do the fermentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
ba-
dark
basi-
tobacco.
Yes, it's dark. Well,
Yeah.
it's amazing because he was saying you can see it in the fields, the different colors,
Mm-hmm.
and he says the plants that they use, I don't know what they are, but the tobacco plants that they grow, the leaves mature at a different rate,
They don't
So-
get as tall.
and they don't get as tall.
Yeah.
I mean, they were maybe 6 inches, 7 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
So they're not that tall. So, and as you're walking through the fields, they're picking out the tan or brown ones, and they're leaving the yellow ones to mature a little longer on the plant. It's just kind of like they do with the first priming, second priming, third priming.
Right.
Right.
Just they do it randomly, and they're always out in the field looking at
Right.
this stuff. And they put it into the sheds to dry, and then it goes to whoever bought the
They stalk cut it, right?
Yeah.
It's stalk cut. They don't do primings.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. No, it's not stalk. It's not
Right,
stalk.
priming.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they take off as and they leave it. And
But they also, as a percentage, chop up a lot more percentage-wise than they do in Central America. In other words, a lot of Pennsylvania tobacco is not used for premium cigars.
Right.
The bulk of it is not, or at least wasn't. I doubt it is today even.
I mean, it was a long time ago that I did that. When my wife and I first got married, we took a trip out there, and I had some time, and so I went and I just talked to the guy, and it was an education. And then after that, I went down to the Dominican
Right.
for the general tour,
General, right.
and I saw how they do it. Now there were similarities in both operations, but they were totally different. So
It's fascinating, if you can, like, I was very honored a few times to go to the Yulta Bajo area and the Pinar Range and San Antonio, which is west of Havana, and be with an executive who sadly passed away a number of years ago. We just jump out of the car and go, and of course everybody knows him. They didn't know me from squat, but they knew him, and we just went. We just did.
Yeah.
And the irony is, Wani, God rest his soul, Wani did not smoke cigars.
Yeah.
Oh.
He smoked
Lord.
those, I hate to call them crappy Cuban cigarettes, but he knew more about tobacco than he was in charge of. Not only was he an executive with Habanos, I say, his territory, his sales territory, was France, the Benelux countries, Switzerland. I may have missed one, and all the farmers, the independent farmers, to the to the west of Havana, more or less reported to him. It's a little different than the corporate setups in this country, but where he would show up, they would kind of jump to attention, more or less. I'm not talking about necessarily the field workers, but the principals that are running the little farms, and there are a number of small farms which the communist Cuban government has allowed them to sell off certain amounts of tobacco to independent rollers down there. It's a very small business, but of course the monopoly, the country monopoly on tobacco gets the lion's share of it. But we would just, like I say, jump out of the car, you know, and just go walk through the barns, walk through the fermentation area. I mean, we just had a free reign. You know, I never liked those tours where the first thing they hand you is some hip waders to walk through the fields.
Yeah.
You got hip waders? We never did.
Well,
I was in
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was in sneakers or boots, my own boots. Still trying to get the mud out.
Have you noticed when you walk through a field of kind of mature plants right before they're going to be the smells? I'm not talking about the fermentation
And
area.
the, actually, and the sound of the tobacco as you walk through it's different also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound meaning as it brushes, you walk through it, you can't avoid hitting tobacco.
I think, and I know we've covered this years ago on the show, but I think if people could actually, I know you can see videos of different things, and Nick Perdomo has some great videos of his agrarian things, of how he does things, and other companies have the same thing. But I think a lot of people don't have the appreciation for what goes into making this one single premium cigar. And then on top of everything, since they're made in Central America, where the wage structure is a lot different than the American wage structure, you get a bargain. You get a cigar that you can afford. Because all these cigars had to be planted in this country,
Oh my God.
rolled in this country.
Double the price?
I mean, the cigars would cost, I would estimate, at least twice as much,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be affordable to
Well,
most
and
people.
people ask, why is this cigar so expensive? I'm like, time and labor.
Yeah.
It's basically, what did you say? Every cigar starts off at, how much does it cost? A nickel?
Well, no.
No.
The raw ingredient.
But I meant the tobacco.
The raw ingredient, well, it's gone up over the years since we used to roll them. I would say 40, 50 cents at the most.
That's how much it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then every time somebody touches it,
Yeah.
it costs more and time. It's
Well,
like
there's
any
a-
other product.
Yeah.
It's
There was
time
that
and
one
labor.
company that came out with the 300. And it
Yes,
was,
Southern Draw.
yeah, the 300. Yeah,
300
they-
hands.
That's right, 300
300
hands.
hands
That's
that touch
Right.
it. Yeah.
Touch
Yeah.
the cigar.
That's right. I explained. That's why. There's a reason Davidoff costs a lot more is because a lot more people go through and process it, and they have a lot more waste.
And you have the holding cost. Some cigars are laid down, typically 30 to 90 days, but others are aged for a few years.
Well, and that's just a cigar, but the tobacco's aged.
Yeah.
Even in most cases, even longer.
If you can, I highly recommend, I'm sure there's tons of them on YouTube or wherever online, go see the process that goes into making a cigar, premium cigar in Central America. And I think you'll come away realizing, like we do as merchants, that what a great bargain. What a great bargain these cigars are. Because the analogy to me is, a milkshake and a premium cigar are somewhat similar in price. Cigars are probably a little bit more, but
I've never had
You
an
drink
$8
a-
milkshake.
Huh?
I've never had an $8 milkshake without bourbon in it.
well, whatever. All right, so let's
I
say
like your thinking.
let's say it costs 2/3 of a cigar or whatever, and you drink it in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever. One, if you drink it too fast, you get a headache. Two, you're going to gain 27 pounds. That's just from one milkshake.
Yeah.
Whereas a cigar, you can relax, camaraderie, have your favorite libation or whatever, and it's a lot easier to make a milkshake. The ingredients that go into a milkshake are a lot easier to throw together than it is the tobacco and the handmade process that goes into these products. But go online and see for yourself what it takes to make a cigar.
Because it's all done by hand. I mean, there
Yeah.
are a few machines. I mean, they'll use tractors. To strip the tobacco, to take the central vein out, they'll use a machine. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's
And there's
They
the,
use what's
the
the name?
one rolling thing when they do the
the
bunch.
Lieberman device.
Lieberman
Right.
device, yeah.
But that's still done by hand.
Yeah, it's still
you have
it's
to-
a machine, but it's operated by hand. So
Yeah,
Right.
it's by definition a machine.
Yeah, but it's not a.
It's
it's-
not a machine.
Oh, and then the airflow thing.
Yeah.
That's another machine.
Oh, yeah.
But
The
still,
draw tester.
draw
Oh, yeah.
tester. Yeah.
But
That's not making the cigar, though.
No, that's not making a cigar.
well, when we made them, we had a different kind of draw test.
Yeah.
I let her just
yeah, we better skip
I
that
let
one.
her skip right over that process. Eduardo did have his ways. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a good guy there. I mean, when it comes to cigar making, we know what we're talking about because those of you who are old enough to remember, we used to have rollers and tobacco and all the tools of the trade in a lot of our stores many years ago before the government raised the taxes and just more or less made it too expensive for us to make them in the stores.
Well, they also said that we couldn't have our manufacturing plant in the same place as our
yeah, I
retail
mean, they
plant.
changed the rules. They just kind of made it impossible for us again.
That's a shame.
With the election of a couple of weeks ago, maybe some things will change, hopefully for the better. And I don't mean to get political. You alienate people no matter what you say. But knowing cigar smokers, they have a couple common traits, and I'll just leave it at that. So as we come to the closing moments of the show, why don't we? You had some events coming up.
Oh
did
yeah, I
you
was going
not?
to talk about first. In a couple of our stores, we're having a turkey bowl on Black Friday, which basically you're bowling with a frozen turkey, and for every pin you knock down, you spend $50. You get a chance to roll. And every pin you knock down, you save 2%. So if you get a strike, you save 20%. If you spend $75 or more, you get 2 shots at it. And then this is pre on the 11th. I'm not sure exactly what stores are participating, but we're going to have our 12th annual. Honestly, it is our 12th annual chili cook-off.
Really?
We've been doing that for 12 years.
Amazing.
So pay attention to your email. We'll let you know exactly which stores.
Is it the same guy winning all the time, or is
No,
it
no,
different
it's
winners?
different winners.
I just want to remind everybody, visit our sister company, CigarSamplers.com. You'll find some very unique packs on there that you can't get anywhere. Or go to CigarSamplers.com and see the website, or go to Facebook and see Jeff's presentation. He's on 5-6 days a week it's under CigarSamplers.com on Facebook. Do we have time to quickly rate this cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'll give it a 9. It was much more interesting at first. It's still very good. I'm getting the
Yes.
sweetness from it, but there were so many different things going on. That's why I have to give it at least a 9.
Yeah, I'd have to smoke more of them. I agree. I'd give it a 9 also. I'd have to smoke more of these cigars.
You and Moose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How many more will it take you? 10, 15,
Maybe.
maybe 20?
Just that box.
Moose?
Yeah, that's just the box.
I'm going 925.
Okay. I like the cigar. I would tend to agree with Moose, so I'm going to give it a 925.
So it's a 9.1.
I just want to apologize. Our show of 2 weeks ago, we had some technical issues. The sound was not up to our usual medium to high standards. Remember, it's a homemade show, and we
what I like
apologize for that.
what I think
We've
people like
fixed the
about it.
problem. Everything's fine now. Just want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our Cigar Outlets show, which
Saturday
follows
show.
this show. Thank you for making the switch to this new channel of ours, which has even more of a reach.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
And,
Life's too short
thank
to
you
smoke
for
cheap
watching.
cigars.
Ciao for now,
Bye for now.
everybody.